So thank you. It is 12:12, right?
Yes.
12:12. Hey, how are you? 12/12/23. We are almost done with 2023 and getting ready for a massive, amazing 2024. You know, we continue to hold on tight to our roller coaster, right? Our roller coaster of life and the real estate business, etc. So, and I'm just, hey, girl. I'm just so thrilled, blessed, grateful to be on this journey with each and every one of you. So thank you all for your contribution to the office. Thank you all for everything that you do to make Keller Williams Calabasas.
Thank you.
What it is. It's a team effort. So thank you, every one of you. I don't even know, there's so much stuff to talk about. So one, happy holidays, everybody. I know some of us celebrate the same, we have different, whatever the case may be, but we're all in it together, right? And we just enjoyed the season and like I said, be in deep gratitude for, and just, we're all extremely blessed for sure. Kurt. Kurt, so our motivational minute, what does it say?
Seeing isn't believing.
Whoopsie, sorry.
Believing is seeing.
Yes, seeing isn't believing, believing is seeing. So what does that mean to you?
Change the way you look at things and things you look at change. Mindset.
Yeah, everything is mindset. No matter what we do, whether we're playing football. Anybody watch football? Or is anybody as big a fan of football as I am? Or am I always talking to people who don't care?
49.
I know they clinched last night with the Giants. So, but you know what was interesting? So there's this new quarterback for the New York Giants. If you were, okay, I'm probably gonna say something I'm not supposed to, but huh? Yeah, it's DeVito, right? But he is. Can I say this? I'm gonna say it. Stereotypical Jersey Italian, right? And it was so fun watching him succeed. So fun watching him. Like, you know what? I don't care if you're a Kansas City fan. Taylor Swift is irritating me. Okay. It's like it's the stupidest stuff ever. But anyway, I would rather watch the excitement, the true, absolute bliss from his family, his mom, his dad, his brother, his agent, you know, right? Yeah, right. They were just having so much fun. And so this kid, right, grew up like 12 miles from the 9 or 12, whatever the number is, close to the stadium, right? He played his championship high school game. It's a total storybook. So what I'm getting at is one of the things that he said in his after the game interview, they ended up winning. Right, the Giants beat the Packers in the last like minute, 30 seconds, something like that. But he's just like, I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun, right? So the moment we start taking things too seriously and then letting it affect. So if we take the polar opposite, let's say, if we're going football a little bit, did anybody see the meltdown of Patrick Mahomes on Sunday? His little temper tantrum on the sideline, right? He's not having too much fun. Right. He's not having a whole lot of fun, right? So he, there's a lot of stories that could probably go into that, but regardless of whether life is a struggle or life is going smoothly, it all depends on our mindset and our attitude towards it, right? So if we're just like, okay, I'm not going to attach too much anger, because whatever emotion that you have attached to whatever's happening in your life is going to compound what's happening, right? It's going to compound what's happening. So what happened with Patrick, things aren't going as well. He's used to being a winner all the time. And now that he's losing a little bit, doesn't mean he just has to fail forward. So what is his mindset behind this failing forward and this new life of his that not winning all the time, right? So now for him, there's a lesson in that, right? And then with this new DeVito guy, right? He's just like, yeah, I have nothing to lose, right? Let me go have some fun. Let me fail forward. Let me just do the best I can, be the best version of myself each and every day. When I step on that field, when I step into practice, you know, suppose they paid him $20,000 here, go be our quarterback, our starting quarterback for the NFL. Like, you know, Josh Herbert, what makes 50 million a year? You know, his contract's only 20,000. Yeah, they said they paid him, and this is all hearsay. This is what, you know, because I watch Good Morning Football instead of CNN or Fox News. It's Good Morning Football is what I watch.
Nice.
It helps my mindset too, right? But there's always something that you can learn. So to this point, seeing isn't believing, believing is seeing. So remember, we act as if. We act as if. It was interesting. I'm going to share this later, but when who went to Jeff Glover on Friday? How amazing was it?
Very good.
It was super
Doable. Everything's doable.
yeah, and it's our mindset that we put behind it, right? It's our mindset of how we're going to tackle the things. Because what we focus on expands, right? So if we're looking, oh my God, the market sucks, nah. And then, you know, I feel like, nah, and I don't want to do this, nah. You're gonna get more of that. Nobody wants to talk to me. No one's buying, no one's selling, no one's doing shit, nah. Right? Sorry, S word. That's better than F word.
Yeah.
Right? So, but one of the things at the beginning of the conference on Friday, he goes, I love this, and this is an act as if thing, right? He goes, dress for what you want, not what you have. Dress for what you want, not for what you have. Right? So I thought that was interesting, right? Because a lot of times we're, you know, some people will be like, well, I don't have this, I don't have that, or I only have this, or da 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 da. Act as if, right? If your goal is to be, you know, to make $1 million, and again, you know, that's one of the Kellerisms, right? Is make $1 million, earn $1 million, make $1 million,
Make,
give a
earn that,
Yeah.
feed it.
Resale store, online,
Yep.
$4, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
you can make it
seriously.
anything that you want, yeah. And it's all your mindset around it. Okay, so just be really cognizant of that, because that can make or break your business. That can make or break your relationships, etc. Right? And then communication, right, is key, right? But that's a whole other topic. But anyway, so just make sure, like, okay, I have to have that belief, I have to act as if that I'm already that person that I'm striving to be, right? And then you can bridge the gap too on that. So if you're already acting as if, and you're like, you know, then that, because sometimes we're like, okay, these are my goals, and you keep putting them in the future, right? So if you keep affirming them in the future, they're going to stay in the future. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So that's why they say act as if right now. Act as if everything that you're the person that you want to be, you have the things that you want to have, all that kind of stuff. It's right here, right now. Stop putting it in the future. Okay, all right, let's go.
Real quick,
Yes,
everyone watch the movie Boiler Room. If you haven't seen the movie Boiler Room, there's a great scene where the sales manager has a whole speech called Act as If. You know, you just nailed it, and it's so true.
Boiler Room.
Sorry. It's a great sales movie, baby.
yeah, God, that was a long, what, Ben Affleck, right?
Ben Affleck, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Glengarry Glen Ross of the night.
Everybody now is Googling the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is, but you know, anything with life is all mindset, and back to what Kurt tagged the bold law onto it. If you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change, right? And it can be just a shift of just perception. It can be a shift of one word that you use, right? And it's all about the growth. So before we move on, Susie,
Yes, ma'am.
I really have to have you stand up right here. Oh my gosh. You're gonna take a look at her ugly sweater. It is spectacular. I would think that this is like a Michael Pochette type thing.
My husband's not here, so I can wear this. Ready, guys?
Okay,
Hair out.
Okay, go, turn around. And then we'll make sure, everybody in Zoom land sees you too.
Okay, guys. Oh my God, that's so funny.
All right.
Where's Zoom? Okay, her.
Awesome,
My
awesome.
daughter's idea.
Okay, very good. Does anybody else want to elaborate or add anything, or even from a personal experience about shifting their mindset on anything in their life? Okay.
About words you use.
Yeah.
To say the word can't. It's a lot of times, it's a really quick thing that we think of, like, I can't do that, I can't. And if you take it out, don't use the word can't.
I love that.
Choose not to do it.
Yeah.
Whatever, you can use a different word.
Yep, I love that. And yeah, because we have to be very careful about our self-talk, you know, the words that we use. And in addition to that is a lot of times you guys have heard us talk about over the last year is want or need. Right? Oh, I want to do that, or I need to do that. And sometimes, you know, having those connotations or those words make it sound like, okay, if I need to do that, that means I really don't want to do that. So, but I should do that, or, you know, all those words, want, should, need, da, da, da. So if you change that to, I get to, wow, I get to do that. Right? Then it just adds another, you know, it changes the vibration for those of you that are spiritual creatures, like those, that it's, I get to.
I'm blessed to do it. I'm grateful.
I just can't with you right now.
It was my daughter's idea.
I know, I think it's spectacular. I love it.
Thank you.
Okay, so I want to bring up Eric with the Pink Hippo, who does all our printing. Thank you for the beautiful donut. I appreciate you. So come on in and say hello and do your thing.
Hi, how's everybody doing today?
Hey.
Awesome. I'm Eric. I just wanted to stop by and say hi, provide some donuts.
Thank you.
They're pretty cool. I didn't see them before I ordered them, but they're actually all really cool. Just wanted to stop by, say hello. I'm gonna be here to meet anybody afterwards if anyone wants to talk to me. We do provide printing services for your agency. We're a full service agency. We do anything from business cards all the way to large format. We do all the listing presentations or brochures, flyers. We specialize in low cost, fast turnaround printing. So if you need something printed same day, next day, usually we can get it out for you, depending on what time we get it in the day. We also do very fast turnaround on postcards. A lot of companies
I'll test
do
it out
anything under 5,000 will go to the post office the next day.
pretty fast.
So and it's
We can vouch for them, they
Yeah,
do our
me too.
prints, it's free, but.
and we do deliver, once we get the volume back up, we will deliver here regularly for free. If it goes to your home, we have to ship it, there'll be a small charge for that. But, we would love to earn a little bit more of your business. And anybody in this room, anybody on the Zoom, we are offering a free $50 print credit towards your next order. So if anybody has anything to print, just, I have my business cards, email me directly. I'm one of the owners of the company. And we'd just love to help you guys out, grow your business in 2024.
Right.
So, thank you so much, Eric. So do you guys also do custom stuff, right? So, yeah.
We do, we have a printer that can print 30 inches wide. So we can do some really cool trifold, bifolds. We have this new product. I will send some over to Bree. I didn't have any samples on hand this morning to bring with me, but I will make them and send them over. We started doing these really cool listing presentations for homes where it's books, 9x9 saddle stitch books that get printed and delivered in 2 days. And have been a huge success for some of our clients.
Do you have a sample?
I will send some over. We just did one. Bree is Bree.
I think you guys
I will see if she has a sample of the one we just did. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you see those?
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool. We also can go up to 12 by 12 on those books. So when they open, they're 12 by 24. These are really cool, high touch pieces for larger listings. We can do, if you can dream it, we can do it. So anything you want, work with Bree, you can call me directly, anything you need, we can take care of.
Awesome. Do you do, like those boards, you know,
Boards?
yeah,
Mount a poster board, no problem.
And what about?
Can you get it done in a day?
We can get it done in a day.
Yeah,
Somebody
there's
just said something else.
to do that.
We do listing signs, we do open house signs, we do for sale signs.
Oh.
I will tell you with for sale signs and open house signs, if you're used to using these signs, our price on those things might shock you a little bit, but we do not print the same way they do. We print on a much higher quality PVC and a much higher quality, we print on vinyl and then mount onto the boards. So they last longer and they're more durable. I know the design ones are printed straight onto the material and they chip and they don't last as long. Yeah.
Do you have a price comparison? Because we've changed, and we actually switched from D signs over to alternative. So I can talk to you about that also.
So it all depends on sizing and quantity.
Mhm.
So, I believe the 18 by 24 ones start at about $72 each for the open house signs.
Mhm.
And they go down based on quantity, and then the 24 by 24 start at like $90.
I think the other one's only 60 and like 80, so it's not like a lot different.
And those ones,
I think that's about what I was thinking. I had something made for Westridge, and it was like $100 for one, like one special one, but
So-
it's similar.
we definitely, if you want to try this out, we can make a sample and send one over just so you can see it. Not a problem.
All right.
Are there any other questions?
Y'all do mail merge?
We do
letters?
mail merge letters. We actually have a printer, digital envelope printer, so we can do full handwriting in blue ink to match the envelope and the letter.
Wow, so it's not just like a window envelope?
The close face envelope with the blue ink we have like 5 or 6 handwriting samples. That studies do show that type of mailing increases open rates.
That is massive, what he's doing right there. Because people can set that out, so the power of a mail merge letter is that it lends credibility to the marketing piece, but often it doesn't make its way from the mailbox into the kitchen. Because of that window,
Yep.
the consumer views it as a solicitation and it goes, so that's brilliant. It's
It's a
awesome.
really cool product. Again, need a sample, shoot me an email. I'll create a custom sample for you, send you a PDF.
We have business cards to reach you and contact.
I have my business cards in my bag. I will hand them out
I want to thank you for just making the trifold flyer was beautiful,
anytime.
two-sided, and yeah, we just made it on Canva and gave it to you, and you guys did a great job.
Yep, we try our best to turn it around. Everything, all we need is a PDF or a PDF and a mailing list, and everything else is.
Do you recommend us to put our labels on water bottles? Is there such an issue with, later on somebody drinking our bottle and then having some whatever issues and suing us? I mean, is that a legal thing?
I can't get into any legalities,
Yeah.
about something run by a lawyer, but I don't see any problems with putting a label on a bottle.
What?
If the bottle's sealed, there's nothing you really.
Yeah,
done with it,
okay.
So
It'd be a good thing for the open houses.
we can definitely do that. We've done a lot of things for open houses. During the COVID era, we were doing labels for hand sanitizers. We were doing
Yeah.
water bottle labels, notepads. We can even do custom open house signs on Coroplast.
Yeah.
So if you want to design something with the picture of the house and the address and print those out, we can print them and put them on H-sticks. So you don't have, so they're fully custom. We've done custom for sale signs for each house. So the house, the actual for sale sign has a picture of the house on it that's sitting outside the house. Really cool stuff.
So do you charge for design, of course, or?
We do charge for design if there is a design needed. Usually the marketing team handles the design. If you need us to design, we can do that as well.
Thank you.
And so you print and mail as well?
We do everything. We're a full service mail house. We have a 6,000 square foot production facility in Glendale and another 3,000 square foot mail house in Decorman.
Wow. And so the bulk rate is still around
Bulk rate.
250 pieces. to get-
200.
200 to get bulk rate?
Bulk rate is 200. Yes. The handwritten
It's going up.
postage, unfortunately, is something we can't control.
Yeah.
The only time we raise our pricing is if postage goes up or if paper goes up. Thankfully, paper hasn't been increasing that much as of late. During the last couple of years, it was every like 2 months it was going up, but lately it's been pretty steady, but we can't control the post office, so. If that goes up, we have to, it's a direct reflection. If it goes up a penny and a half, we go up a penny and a half. If it goes up 2 cents, we go up 2 cents. So we don't make money on the post.
You have your business card?
Yeah, and you'll be here throughout the
Yeah.
meeting. Okay. Thank you.
These cards must cost a lot.
Oh,
it's a credit card.
Deal.
Yeah.
These are 32-point painted edge cards.
Can I get one?
Yeah, Dave is no longer point of contact. I will be the point of contact for you. These ones are about $140 to $500.
Get rid of.
Yeah, I have to check to be exact. I think it's like $144. There might be a slight price increase on them as of January because of the paper costs, but does anybody else want?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Is there information like on the website? I can still there, but why do you?
Well, you know, you need them to remind, and then we can get prices.
Easy answer.
Yeah, Bree helps facilitate with getting pricing and all that kind of stuff with Eric. He works closely with him. All right, any other questions for Eric, our amazing printer and donut person?
Like that.
You know what, I'm not for sure.
I don't know if everyone knows about that resource team, but I find that very helpful.
There's a lot of information on it.
I'm looking
Yeah.
for like vendors or something
Let's go there.
to fix my house. I always go there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, anything else for Eric?
Thank you.
Other than thank you?
If you don't forget, you mentioned the $50 off and we'll take care of it. That can go towards print, not postage. So
Awesome.
thank you.
All right, thank you. We appreciate all your hard work for us.
Outside is not comparative to the brokerage pricing for you, so I'd like you to work with you. We have special pricing.
Yeah, we have, special pricing. Okay, so I can't believe
But
we have 2 weeks left. All right, so you guys can talk after if you want. Okay, today's team meeting. Guess what tomorrow is? I'm so excited. We always have such a great time. It's so funny because for those of you that have been to our holiday parties, we know that you guys know it's fun. And it's so funny. I, reconfirmed with our DJ and she's like, you guys have one of the funnest holiday parties out of everybody she does. And I'm like, all right.
it's true.
So, I'll get into more information on that, but, I think that's Friday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Friday, December 22nd, office closes at noon. And then the office is obviously closed December 25th for, Christmas and then the day after and then closed January 1st. Okay, happy birthdays to everybody. Philip, Jasmine, Katrine, guys. Oh, God. Oh, you're baby. Very good. Oh, me.
Ozzy and her twin.
Roxana, Ozzy, Dawn, Peter, Stewart, Michael Couchette was Saturday. Sanaz, Angelina, Julie, Tony. So happy birthday to everybody. And then all our anniversaries. Yay! So let me see who's on. Alan Toomey. Dang, you've been here 9 years, dude. Huh?
10 years.
I don't know. It came up on the thing 9, so I don't know. Cheyenne, Picard, Tony, Arsene, Betty, Melina. Where is she? Oh, there you are. Corley, Maria, Nicholas, Emilio, Jeanette, Christine Wheeler in the house, Cheetah, and Alon. So thank you so much for your contribution to the success of our office. All right, and then our November closings. Congratulations. I don't know why that's not. Whoopsie.
Yeah.
Okay. Lee, Justin, Larry, Team Selick, Mike Cosgrove, Team La Familia, Jordan, Nieves, Galuz Group, Marsha, Roger, Kurt. Ooh, Kurt's like, yeah, I'm on the list.
Yes.
Stephanie, Carrie, Lynette, Shahab, Christine, Maria. Oh, I would send her on the other one. Team Smith, David Shamash, Cheryl, Alan, Luram, Joey, Doug Pitts group, Emilio, Sheeta, Samantha, Christopher, and Denise Marks group.
Yeah.
So congratulations. Fabuloso.
Oh.
Okay. So I know that you all are super duper shy, never want to talk about anything, but you know, as we reflect on 2023, I would love for you all to share what are your most memorable moments, or what is one memorable moment, and it could be personally or it could be professionally or whatever, that you would like to share with the group that you had in 2023. Wow.
We had 3 partners over the course of the year buy their first home. So that
Oh,
was
that's
pretty bad.
awesome. Congratulations. That's amazing. Terry Lynn.
My fellow graduated from high school.
Oh. Bella, congratulations.
Is she gonna go for her real estate exam? No, I took her too much as a little girl. She's like, I hate real estate. I'm never.
Yes.
I survived it.
Right? We sure did. It's been crazy. Christine, come on. I know you have some.
I'm thinking, but a couple of things. I'll say, yeah, my personal is I bought a house. It's actually a year on the 21st.
No
Yeah,
kidding.
it's birthday. It's a year. And-
Are you serious?
Yes, it's a year. But I didn't move in until June and I've been remodeling for this whole year. So I actually ordered my last window coverings yesterday. So I'm going to take a break from remodeling. And so I'm like, whoo, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
And then on my work thing, I actually had the most incredible year of my real estate career, capping in 6 months.
Yeah.
And so, I think that goes to that I've had clients that do take, it wasn't just all of a sudden I had a client and I closed. It was somebody all these people I've been working with. And I also wasn't afraid to go out of this area. I sold a house in Long Beach, Costa Mesa, Burbank. I was everywhere. And so I think that was part of it, but
That's
I'm
awesome.
looking forward to 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Mr. C-Stack.
I had personal growth. I came out of my emotional shell
Lost a lot of.
and I lost my hair. And it was the biggest deal I've ever closed. Big one in February.
Oh,
Yeah. That's awesome. Congratulations, Steve. Linda.
Personal milestone for years counts to 3.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's the best.
Yes, Susie.
First couple of months have been really hard. It's my 2nd year anniversary. Personal growth, I'm loving it more and more now. I switched from being a lease agent, which I got a lot of clients out of that and converted them to buying, to now listings and buyers concentration, and I'm gonna crush it next year.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Okay, anyone else? Lena.
I closed my first sale yesterday.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Very well served. Roger.
For me, I didn't do a ton of business this year, but I double-ended all but one of my listings.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
hyper right there.
Yeah.
Like your ratios are on the chart.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Alan.
I sold an office building twice in 4 years.
Hey, baby.
Amazing. Amazing. Anyone else? How do you feel like sharing? Okay.
My daughter started kindergarten.
Yeah.
All right, congratulations. Congratulations. Okay, wonderful. So it's always fun, reflecting, and that's, this is the time of the year that we do that.
I brought my son Gus in.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. But it's a time to reflect, and we talk about that, when because we're gonna go a little bit more into kind of our business plan as we're finishing up 2023, we already know that we're working on 2024 business. So we've been hammering you guys and gals for the last 2.5 months about your 2024 business plan. So we want to make sure, and that we do that because a lot of you are just like, okay, you repeat it. Yes, I'll continue to repeat it until you get it. So sometimes you all just say, yes, Stephanie, I got it. And then, wow, you have
That was
Cute.
a patient right there.
there's a.
Only like that one.
That's so cute, Steve. I think you should be standing next to Susie for that photo op. Okay,
I know.
Picture moment.
all right, so I have to get out of that part of my head, okay. So, but reflecting on, okay, what worked, what didn't work, because this is that opportunity for you guys just to crush 2024. And really adjust your mindset. What are the things that I need to change? What are the things that I need to adjust, right? Have you looked through your marketing material to see what's working, what's not working, if you want to make any changes on that? So it's really a great opportunity time to, like if you're in a place where you're like, what's my most memorable moments in 2023? Nothing good, right? Okay, well, that's not true, right? So all depends on what state of mind that you happen to be in. Take a piece of paper or
Start with gratitude.
yeah, just start with gratitude. Write down 10 things that are amazing in your life. Like I think I've shared this with some of you before when, because most of my career I've had a coach and I had a coach thankfully and when I was going through a divorce and I was just in my head, and my coach is just like, write 10 things that you love about your soon-to-be ex-husband. I'm like, I know. Why did I do that? Because he's an asshole. So I did, right? And then as soon as I changed that shift, right, I was crying, while I'm writing down these things about, we still got divorced, but it shifted my mindset to a different place, right? Coming from gratitude, coming from love instead of, right? So we really, because remember, like Christine said, we make a decision, we have a choice every single moment as to what actions that we're going to take, how we're going to interpret XYZ or whatever the case may be. So just keep that in mind.
Can I add something to what you just said?
Yeah.
Stephanie was talking about coaching, and I've never had a professional coach ever. We had a gentleman here speaking a few weeks ago or last week, Chris Vogt.
Yeah.
And he was a wonderful coach. And he talked about doing minor shifts in your daily routine and for people to get out of being complacent in their career. If, as an example, how many people walk around and find $100 bill on the ground? Any of you?
Down to 20.
I've done it.
So here's the bigger question. If for some reason you saw $100 bill on the ground, could you bend over and pick it up? That's one minor shift. And that means you're all capable of doing one minor change in your routine to make a difference. So if you we're just not disciplined enough to make those changes to move forward and do things. And you need a fire lit under your ass to do things that you're easily capable of doing. That's the thing. It's like, if you're capable of doing one minor change, you can double or triple your business. That's what you have to do, is just do that one minor change, be a little disciplined, as like Nike says, just do it. Do that one simple change and you can double your income.
And the other thing that he said, you really only need to prospect 2 hours a day. Right. And it's not like you're there, it's not like 8 hours, it's 2 hours.
And I took I had a coaching session with him yesterday, and he talked about writing down, he goes, what do you do to plan out your day? I said, I get in the office in the morning and I write down on a sheet of paper the 15 or 20 things I wanna do. And he says, just do it the night before, so you already have it in your mindset. He goes, how long does it take you to write it down? I go, it takes me 10 minutes to write down all the people I wanna contact and things, and I always add to that list in the morning. He says, do it the night before, so you're already thinking about it the next day. So just be disciplined and do something, otherwise you're just gonna revel in your mediocrity, and you're either gonna get better, or you're not gonna get better, you're just gonna be equal or getting worse. So do simple changes and find that $100 bill in the ground and bend over and pick it up.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, coaching is, coaching is imperative, regardless of who it is, whether it's a MAPS coach, it's Chris, or, somebody, even coaches have coaches. Right? Because they can see things that you can't. Like a lot of times when we get in our daily routine and we see things in this little box, right? We don't sometimes have the strength to see what's outside here. Right? So when you have someone else saying, hey, do this, right, to help pull you out of your comfort zone and go into growth, it's a magical thing. And whatever the payment happens to be for coaching, it comes back tenfold. And, because you're investing in yourself. I know you want to say something?
Oh, I was gonna say on the idea of lead generation, they followed the top producers, and my coach asked, what's the average amount of time of a top producer prospects? I was like, one thing answer, 4 hours. Okay, 2 hours. All the way down, it was like 36 minutes a day. And so and what he was saying was that a lot of times we're messaging, we're dancing around the subject. We're not really connecting and asking the questions. And so he said, Philip, be mindful of your minutes, right? If it's 36 minutes to be a top lead generation producer or a top producer lead generator, then what questions am I asking? What's my make offer for immediate response? Who am I calling? Who am I calling to? What's my method? And then how am I measuring it, right? So it's one of those things where you start thinking about it and you start optimizing. So instead of time blocking 12 hours a day, I'm not saying that we do this, but 12 hours a day for work, I can get the most I can get for what I can get between this time and this time, right? And then I can maximize the who in those minutes. What's the game plan around them? What's the make offer for this pool of people? And then working through it on a very systematic base.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, because one of the other things that Chris said at our sessions was back to Steve's point, 2 hours a day, right? 2 hours a day will change your life. And if we think about it, 2 hours in the morning, and let's say, why don't we even double what most people do, right? To even an hour, right? Lead generation is our business. That is the core of our business, and then lead follow up behind it, right? But if you are spending, and you guys and gals, it has to be uninterrupted, dedicated, intentional, purposeful time. How great would you feel, let's say 5 days a week, that you prospected, I know that's a bad word, relationship build, right? For 2 hours. You had relationship conversations for 2 hours a day, dedicated between 9 and 11, 10 and 12, whatever, then you don't carry any burden or guilt on the rest of the day.
I'm locked in.
Right?
What did the guy say at ALC? He said, control the first 6 hours of your day. And that includes waking up, using the bathroom, brushing your teeth, having time with your family. That's part of your control, right? Within your balance. And then after 12 o'clock, let the day fall where it falls. That's when we start replying back to all the emails and all the fires and all the escrow BS. Yeah, I understand $30,000 is on the line, but you know what? The 2 hours that if you take away the 2 hours and you nurse the escrow, you lose the 5 clients you could get on the back end. And most escrows, believe it or not, will solve themselves, right? As much as we want to think that it's us, a lot of it's the lender on the East Coast, or it's something, title, I need to get paycheck stubs, me berating the client to get that paperwork won't speed it up any faster. It's like, hey, this is what the lender needs. Awesome. I cleared through what I need to clear through. Let me hit my what I call first and 10, we follow power. That's the 3-hour block for lead gen in the morning, and you get your stuff done before noon. So that when the day you get the emergency call from school, all that stuff comes up, awesome, you won your day. You got your 5 contact, your 10 contact, your extra appointment or your lead, whatever you define as your win. And every day you can stack your wins on that one habit. To Steve's point, you know, it's discipline early on, and then before you know it's a habit. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't really say, oh, I need to brush my teeth today. No, you just do it, right? I mean, it's so super simple, but it's that consistency.
Yep, sure, thank you. Yeah, so own the morning, win the day. We talked about that. This is what Jeff Glover had shared as well. And when we sit with him, he's not saying anything different than anybody else is doing. It's just another, you know, own the morning, win the day. AM, your morning routine is finding the business, right? And in the afternoon, like to your point, servicing the business, right? So if you guys want to guys and gals want to take your business to the next level, find those small disciplines, right? To get the job done. Okay. Let's move on. She's not here. So we have Angela Galvan is one of our new real estate peeps here. So welcome, Angela. And Jordan Davies, cat. So congratulations, Jordan. You get to enjoy the 100% commission. And again, thank you to Calabasas Escrow for helping us and doing a great job, Lisa and Brian. Okay. I know we have a couple speakers still. So our party tomorrow night, has everyone RSVP'd?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. Very cool. So we have, obviously there'll be food and there'll be cocktails and there'll be photo booth. There's our step and repeat, raffle prizes, dressy. And then, Ra's going to be there again doing her card reading, right? So we'll have the sign up for that. And then Michael will be there doing our photography, so it'll be super fun. It's in Westlake at Zen Bistro on the water. It has indoor, outdoor, so those of you that get whatever about being indoors, you get to be outdoors too, if you so choose.
Don't fall away.
And then want to thank our sponsors, Calabasas Escrow, Inspector Sammy, Old Republic Home Warranty, SoCal Upgrade, Zoom Casa, and Peak 1031 Exchange. So we had some great sponsors for this year. So thank you all. Yay. Cindy, come on down.
Forgive me, I forgot it was ugly sweater day. But I have a really good idea for you. Something that I was involved in just recently. Oops, wrong way. There we go. This was a strategy that won the deal. And it was the client bid over asking. And here's the scenario. It was a condo listing. The ask price was $685, and the buyer offered $700,000. They waived their appraisal contingency and they requested a 2-1 buydown. Let's break it down. So this is what the 2-1 buydown looked like. There's their loan. They had a 7.25% rate. That's their full payment. With the 2-1 buydown, they get a 5.25% for 1 year, 6.25% for 2 years, 6.25% for 1 year, and then it goes to their normal rate. And you can see what their payment reduction was each month, each year. And this is how much the difference was that the seller was going to be picking up times 12. This is how much annually for those two consecutive
years.
Thank you, concessions. And so 13,200 is the total cost to the seller to do this. By the seller picks it up. So when you take the $700,000 that they're getting paid minus the 13,200, the seller is now getting $686,800 as opposed to $685,000, which is what they were originally asking. So they paid the 2-1 buydown, they paid the concession, but they actually got more money out of the deal. And so then the agent asks, well, what happens if it doesn't appraise at $700,000? So that's about what, like a $15,000 difference or whatever. that means that the buyer now has to come in with $15,000 more out of pocket. Well. Did they? Wait, what happened? Okay, so. I'm missing a slide. Oh, it's not, the detail's not on there. Dang it. Okay. So in actuality, and I'm sorry that it didn't turn on. But the actuality is, the difference is, the regular loan amount of 560,000, it's only like 1.7% more down payment, with this $15,000 difference. So they're a little slightly off, their 20% down, which means that they have to pay MI or come out of pocket, one or the other. So we decided to go the MI route. Now, MI, mortgage insurance, normally is gonna be hundreds of dollars per month more, which may mess with their debt ratio. But in this case, it was a tiny bit of difference. And if we paid it one time up front, it only cost them $2,000. So, huge win for both sides. The deal totally worked. Now,
Any other questions?
yes,
Is the buyer being qualified based on their first year's loan rate? Or is the buyer being qualified on
the full rate, the full normal rate.
It's not helping us get somebody that's already
No.
qualified.
No.
Thank you.
Okay, so then the question is, should they do the deal? Because when you're thinking about it, they're buying the condo for a higher price than its value, right? So, and then what about their rent? And if their rent payment is $3,500 a month, their mortgage payment now is $3,820, right? Plus taxes and insurance. So, I mean, it's a big difference. But with this handy dandy buy versus rent calculator, you can see that in this case, even though they're paying more in mortgage than they are in rent, if they live there for 7 years, which is where the break even is, then over time, after 7 years, everything is out of pocket. So everything is gravy at that point. What does it look like 7 years from now? If they decided, you know what, I can't stomach that extra payments, I don't want to buy, I'm going to stay renting because it's cheaper, they will have spent $310,000 in 7 years. But if they did buy, and they did take the plunge, then the value of their condo would now be $900,000. Their loan balance would be $510,000. They have $390,000 in equity, and they can move up. If they want, do whatever they want. Life becomes easy.
Is it true that if, for some reason the buyer decides to refi a year down the line, then they would get the money back because it's in an escrow account? Let's say it's a 2-year buy down, and then
Yeah.
a year down the line they refi. What happens to the money
It
that
gets
the seller
applied.
paid?
Yeah, I think it gets applied to the close.
It's applied.
Yeah,
Gets
because
applied to
the
principal
escrow's
or
not
something.
gonna keep it. They can't.
Yeah.
They're a third party. The seller already gave them the money.
So it's a
So
win-win
it's their
situation.
money. Yeah,
Win-win situation for the buyer. So you tell your buyer, hey, you refi in a year from now, the interest rate goes down in 2024. You haven't lost anything. That will be applied to a principal.
Yep.
Another truth.
They don't have to stay with that mortgage for those 2 years. They can change it at any time.
The rent versus buy, you also have to take in the fact that they're gonna be writing off the interest, and then those, interest always back loaded, so we're always paying it first.
yeah,
And that's a tax write-off, so it's even more significant than that.
that is true.
Cindy, I've been a 2-1 buy down, but the buyer ended up paying for it. So we brought up the price so that it could be the buy down amount for the buyer. And then at the end, the closing costs, the seller had just netted whatever, the less amount. So the buyer paid for it. The seller, it came out of, the original price was like whatever we had asked, but then it ended up having the buyer pay for it.
So the buyer can always buy down their rate. They can't do a 2-1 buy down.
You get like a.
They can
Yeah.
do a one time.
That's not an escrow though.
Yeah. That's gotta be an outside party.
Yeah, sure.
This was one other scenario that worked recently, so I wanted to walk you through it. So the client did 95% financing, got a 5% gift from their parents. They got the program, the 100% financing program with no mortgage insurance. they combined that program with the 15,000 grant toward closing costs. They got a rate of 7.1-ish. Properties in a major minority census tract, so they got a rate reduction for that. And the buyer paid 1 point for the rate, and they had a total of $9,500 in closing costs. Total costs 15 grand. Pretty cheap. Most people have 15 grand stashed away. So there are definitely deals to be had, but we have to get creative. And it can happen. And that's about it. General overall rate scenario, looking good, looking better, I'm happy to say. So before, I think I had High Point, we're definitely in the 8s, maybe even 8.5 in some cases. In some scenarios, we'll still price out at 8%. I just did one this morning, 10% down, and it was a condo. And it was an okay flight dog. I mean, that was still no points though. But generally speaking, we're seeing rates in the low 7s and some high 6s. So we're definitely making progress. And there's no real anticipation of rates going up anymore. It's the general feeling out there in crystal ball land. They should hopefully start to come down a little. I don't know what 24 is gonna look like. Yeah.
We'll know tomorrow.
Yeah. It might be a slow, soft, improvement. Something might change overnight. We'll see. That's all I got for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I can't reiterate enough to each and every one of you to keep having the conversations. Please keep having the conversations, because when all of a sudden it's time for, let's say all of a sudden interest rates go down or a life event happens or something like that, you're top of mind with the people that you're in communication with, that when it's time for them to buy, sell, invest, whatever, you're the one that they're going to call, right? So please don't get attached to what's happening in the market. Is it gonna get better? Is it gonna get worse? No one knows. Even the economists have been wrong from time to time.
Right, always wrong.
Right? It's just like the Weather Channel. They could never get it right, but now we have the weather app, and so they get to change it immediately when all of a sudden, oh, it's raining. Like sometimes they don't even know it's raining. It's raining. I'm like, what? It's raining outside. It still says it's sunny on my app. What's happening right now? But you can attach and keep going, what if, trying to predict, so on and so forth. Just keep having the conversations, and when it's time for them to buy, sell, or invest, you'll be the person that they'll reach out to. Yes.
Stephanie, the minute I walk out of my house, I set it in my mind, I'm gonna talk to everybody and anybody that comes to my mind. Yesterday, I took an Uber ride twice, one back, going that way and then coming back. Each guy, I spoke about the housing market. Yeah. Right away, I connected them with a loan officer. They spoke to him. I mean, it was like that ride, a 5-minute ride. It was like all about real estate. And I gave him my cards, and then back another guy, same thing. So that was like 2 Uber rides, and then they were interested in buying because they have a few jobs, not only Uber.
Yeah.
So that was really that's what I have in my mind is always go.
For sure. Like I went to my niece's 1-year birthday party.
Aw, nice.
For the weekend. And as I'm taking pictures and videos, and I've seen a guy I haven't seen in 5 years. We started talking. He's a big time investor, and I just rekindled the connection by just taking pictures.
Being present.
Yeah,
Anybody's a client.
You never know.
And
Well, absolutely.
There's still a lot of people who are very interested in, as soon as they hear about 100% financing.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
good.
And, but like, they may come to me thinking that that's what they're gonna get, but what I'm gonna give is some options. I'm gonna give them what's gonna be best for them. Another person had a departing residence that they wanted to sell before they buy a new place. And I always let them think that that's the way I'm gonna structure it. And then as soon as I see the deal, I try to figure out how to make it happen so that they can go ahead and make an offer and still keep the house and do whatever they want to afterwards. So just know there's always a variety of ways. Let them think they're gonna do it one way and then send them to me, let me structure the whole thing.
Yeah.
Mike
Awesome.
will reach out to you, do not. Yeah, is he, okay, cool. Awesome.
All right, Mr. Philip, Christina.
Yay. So I'll put a timer on, 10 minutes and off we go. So real quick, I'm gonna share a quote with you guys from one of our math coaches. This is separation season. This is a season where you separate yourself from everyone else in the minds of the people that you're meeting with. Your perceived competition, it just happens to be ourselves, right? We're not competing with anyone other than whatever we put down as our goal, right? Before I get into it, I could go in so many different directions, but what is the one thing, if we were to focus on it right this moment, would make the rest of the year that much easier, make your 2024 goals that much more easier or attainable? What's one focusing question we could hit on such that by hitting it, everything else would be knocked down at the same time? Otherwise, I do have notes, but you know. What was that?
Talk to people.
Talk to people. All right. Now, on talking to people, I remember when we were in bowl together, and when I was talking to people, one of my biggest mistakes back then in the early days is I didn't have a place to funnel everyone into. Right? We had a edge. I think that it wasn't command yet. Yeah, it was what it was. But I will say, even something like edge, or if you're using whatever the database is, ideally command, and if you're not using it, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's just having a place where you can systematically communicate with people. Because when I finally got into max coaching, you know, one of my sins was like, oh man, I had my best year ever. I was just let go in a volunteer position at the office, and I just got after it. I made the most money I could make in real estate at that point, and it felt like an accident at the end of 2018. I made $160,000 and was super excited about myself, but it felt like every deal happened by happenstance, right? None of it was on purpose. I was just lead generating every day, talking to people, and stumbled upon what felt like luck. So I invested in max coaching and said, hey, I wanted to be predictable. I love the income. It's changed our lives. And I want to keep doing this, but I want to do it on purpose. So we made it a point to really prospect through our database and build a database. And here's what happened. He said, Philip, tell me about your current database. Oh, coach, look at this. And I flipped the camera around, and it's just stacks of files, loose note paper everywhere, journals filled with names and numbers. And he was like, ha, ha, ha. LOL, put that in command. Command's a new thing. You should start getting everyone in there. Awesome. I start doing it. Immediately, I find some appointments. I find some leads, people who hadn't bought, who hadn't sold yet. Now, here's the kicker. As I was putting them in there, I stopped at 40, but there were 40 deals that happened without me as the realtor. And these are people I knew. Some of them were family members. Some of them were friends from my other career. Some of them were people I door knocked. So I killed myself to door knock and didn't follow up. A lot of people who I cold call who said, oh, just call me in. And I never did. And they sold with Justin or whoever, right? You know, the proverbial Justin. He probably did sell some of those people, right? But you know, you go through that and you realize there was so much pain. Here I am asking for deals, and there were 40 of them at least that had done deals with somebody else. Maybe you're one of them, right? I mean, they were there and I didn't get them. Shame on me. So when we say talk to people in a way that, hey, you're going to take a part of that 4-hour spread. If you're reading the one thing, one of the tips there is you time block 4 hours, and not your guys' point, 4 hours lead gen, 1 hour's prep, 1 hour's lead gen, 1 hour's follow-up, 1 hour is making sure they're in your database. If you're working solo, if you're a level 1 agent, like many of us are, then take those 4 hours to heart, even if you have to spread them out, right? Because if you're jumping into fire coaching or Ignite or PC or something, and it breaks into those 4-hour time blocks, make sure you still have that hour of cleanup time. And Command makes it so much more easier now that you can save the contact information to your phone, go into Command, and then import that contact fully, name, address, phone number, email. You can add your tags and notes and all that fun stuff without having to be a data manager at the same time. One of the things I wrote here is fundamentals and kits. Keep it super simple. Our coach Rose, who Justin would happen to know as well, she said, Philip, you make things so damn complicated, right? And I saw it with my son on Sunday. We were playing basketball, And one of the things I noticed is that he was like, oh, I'm gonna do a snatch back, a step back, a spin around, and I'm gonna make the layup. And I'm like, dude, that's a lot of moves. And so he did that. I beat him one-on-one the first game. The next 3 games he beat me. I was just too tired to keep up with him. But he plays really well one-on-one. And I said, in the middle of a game, you're not going to be the guy doing that on every play, every possession. Basketball is a team sport. You got to make the passing. You got to make the easy baskets, right? And so we started practicing a right-handed layup, a left-handed layup, and a bank shot at like middle of the lane. And that's what we did. And then when I went and looked at my numbers for that week, I'd spoken to 135 people that week and only converted to 4 appointments set. So my coach said on Monday, and so I'm going to relate the story. He said, Philip, look at who you're marketing to, what's your method, what's your message, and are you measuring it? So damn sure I'm measuring it. The market are people that we know through our Met database, right? People that know us, like us, and trust us. What's my method? I'm calling, I'm texting, and we're getting 2-way dialogue. What's the message, right? And the message was too complicated. Here I am trying to do a snatch back, turn around, spin between the legs, all this stuff to try and make a basket. When really all I need to do is maybe just send out a screenshot off of RPR. Hey, here's your home valuation. What do you think? And that was like the tip from my coach, was make your message simpler, right? I did one message yesterday because I totally forgot about the regional meeting. So thank you, Stephanie. And I got one message out to a past client in, I think it's Arleta, and screenshot her value 740,000 or whatever that RPR says it is. And now we have a listing appointment teed up for January, right? One person, one little make offer for immediate response. Hi, people in Arleta, enjoy, hope all is well. What do you think about this? Super simple, sent that screenshot, and here we go. Oh, wow, I didn't know my home was worth that much. God, Joy's thinking of moving out of state and this house is too big for me. What do you think you could sell it? Do you think we could sell it? Damn right we could sell it. But my point is that something super simple, just keep it simple there. Another item, the MREA. That playbook will change your life. I've read that book now 6 times. I'm reading it for the 7th time. There's a bunch of notes in there, a bunch of highlights. And I swear to you, with everything in me, it feels like I'm reading it for the very first time today. Right? Like the way we're processing it, the way I'm reading it, the way we're communicating with Maureen, our operations director, the way Monica and I are looking at it and viewing our lives and business as one. The MREA is the book. And our mantra for 24 isn't like earn $1 million, net $1 million, whatever. It's actually just think $1 million. Now that doesn't mean that we're just going to sit passively and let deals come to us. We're going to aggressively build our business one step at a time through that playbook. And it might be something as simple as get everyone an 8x8 touch. What does that mean? For 3 weeks, one step a week, they each get a letter or an email or a text, something super simple. And by the 4th week in January, we're calling those top past clients, and we're going to educate them and we're going to ask for help. The big help is, hey, have you found value in what we've sent? Awesome. We have events coming up. That's one thing we're proud of. Monica hosted, I think, 9 events last year. So high five to you, Dave. Great job. Zoom, in person, a hybrid of the two. We were failing forward through that bad boy. But just being on purpose with building that. Because either your database is scalable, sellable, or it's just nothing, right? And if you think about it from a standpoint of selling it, then one day you can either turn that into a golden database and receive 25%, 50%, whatever you decide it is. Justin had shared that there was a farmer who passed away, and that was kind of it, right? But imagine his legacy in terms of a database of relationships being passed over. And then, let's say it was Justin, for example, just as an example, and and Justin would pay the estate 25% forever. Very lastly, is make you the best you possible, right? The idea is that you're not doing it for the clients. You're not even really doing it for your spouse. You're not even really doing it for your kids. When you boil it down, it's your life, it's our lives, or our own individual lives that we're living. So, don't think about hey, I'm going to read this book so I can be the best realtor for the stranger who's going to call my sign, right? I'm reading this book, I'm doing the exercises, I'm doing the consistency. So every day that I look at myself in the mirror, or I just I want to provide, I know that I'm being the best for me. Jim Rohn says, if you love your wife, you love your spouse, be the best you can possibly be. I love you enough, babe, that I'm going to be the best me I can be so I can take care of you.
Wow.
And then you love yourself enough, you love me enough that you take care of you so that you're the best you possible so that you can love and take care of me. Right? So thank you guys so much.
What an amazing love story.
Yay. That's awesome. Okie dokie, so let me see if there's any announcements before we do the. Should I just give it to you already? I'm like, seriously? Okay, oh, safety committee. Is Alan or Jasmine?
Jasmine, I'm gonna do it in 10 seconds or left. Part of being safe is being prepared. And this month's flyer speaks to the importance of having our car safety kits up to date, refreshed, revamped, ready to go when we're out on the road. Whether that's, updating your first aid kit, adding a flashlight, whatever it is, take the time right now. There's some great deals out on Amazon. I was looking because I need to practice what I preach and actually have a kit in my car. But, you never know when you need these items. There's some listed at the bottom, just suggestions, and, start the year off with safety in mind and preparedness. That's all.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jasmine.
You're
And
welcome.
there is one thing I want to add to the list. My personal trainer told me to always have a pair, well, especially for women, have a pair of tennis shoes in the trunk. And I'm like, that's spectacular. And I never ever thought about that. Like the car, I mean, it's something. Yeah. Yeah, it is awesome. So, but there is something to be said for, because you just never, ever know. And I started watching this movie last night, a Netflix special. Kind of like Into the World shit. But, and then I'm thinking, it's a new one with, what's her name? With Ethan Hawke is in it, Kevin Bacon, and Julia Roberts.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
What's it called?
Urban Heights.
Yes.
It's amazing, but it's scary.
Because I'm like, interesting. So I didn't watch it all. And I'm just like, that's probably not a thing to watch before I go to rest. But anyway, but I don't even know why I went there. Okay. So anyway, just be prepared.
Something about shoes?
Well, yeah, shoes, but being prepared. Like they were just like, oh, okay, I don't have stuff. Right, because anyway.
Or that movie Castaways where Tom Hanks finally gets rescued and he's got the keychain with all the tools and stuff on
The
it.
Swiss Army knife type
If
thing.
only he had that with
Yeah.
him.
So funny. Yeah, so really the talk of the town for this week is our holiday party tomorrow night. So please be there. We're gonna have, like I said, it's gonna be a great time. And then I've already been talking this whole time. Keller Williams School of Real Estate, like I said, I have to give someone, if you know of anyone, we still have this program there. If they want to get into real estate, it's free, the school. And then also really, we'll have Michael Lewis. We have a big, a very robust calendar coming out for 2024, but we will be having Michael Lewis in more often because a lot of times you guys don't really understand what they have to offer. It's pretty spectacular.